Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I ended up reading in September, a little wrap up. Before I get started though, please make sure that you subscribe below and hit the notification bell. I'm doing 3 videos a week. I'm actually filming this like so late tonight, and I didn't have like a long day. It was just like a weird and stressful day. I ended up like waking up really late because I forgot to set my alarm and it was my day off, so it wasn't a huge deal. But like I hate waking up later because I just feel like I get like nothing done. But I was like not letting it deter me today, so I got up and I did like a really hardcore hike, and like I did all this stuff, and then all of a sudden like it was just like one thing after another today. Like I ended up like it's like past 11 now and I'm just starting to film because when I got home I had plans to film, and then there was like a maintenance guy in my apartment, and my building manager never told me that anyone was coming in today. So I obviously like couldn't really film while he was here. And then like he was so sweet and so nice, and he was helping with like everything in the bathroom, but he ended up like hurting himself and like getting blood like in my bathroom. And like I mean like I didn't want to like say anything to my building manager because like he was so sweet, but like also it was just like such a deterrent to my day because then I had to like disinfect my whole bathroom, and then it's just like it's just a lot. Like it just was like a weird day. Like threw a huge wrench into my day. And so I decided that I deserved wine tonight while I decided to tell you about what I read for September. So yeah, here we go. Um so the first book I ended up reading was it's gathered dust from being on my floor, but it was Lauren Graham, Talking as Fast as You Can. I don't know if you can see it. But I loved this book. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was just really great. It just like made me really excited about being an actress. I like loved how positive she was. She just had like a really cool outlet for her life. And I liked she talked about how when she was filming the revival of Gilmore Girls, she was also writing a book, and how she had like this timer method. And I loved reading about that because she would basically be like, okay, like, you know, today I'm gonna set an hour where I'm gonna write. And you would just like set a timer, and for that 60 minutes she like turned off like all her other stuff, and she just like wrote the book. And she was like, don't like set like a goal that's like too much. Like don't be like, I'm gonna write for 3 hours tomorrow, when you obviously like won't. Like start small and like really commit to that chunk of time to be productive. So I've really been trying to do that, where I'm blocking off parts of my day. I mean, today it did not work out at all, but like I'm trying to be like, okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna work on my blog for like an hour, and then I'm actually writing a young adult series as well right now. So, but it's been really hard to like section that into my day, just because it's kind of like bottom of my list of everything that I've been doing. But like I do want to like do it and accomplish it, but I feel like if I can section off like this amount of time in a day, it could like really help me a lot. Yeah, so I really like that. And then it also like when she was like writing her book, it was like she realized it was better to like actually finish the book than to be perfect, which was like a great lesson, because I feel like often like I'll film a video, or like I'll like, you know, I'm actually like I'm taking ukulele lessons, and like my teacher was like, oh, like you should write a song. And it's like I like just started taking ukulele lessons, so I'm finding it really hard to like start writing a song and like finishing it. But like the thought of like just doing it, because like it's never gonna be perfect, and like accomplishing it, it was like a really cool outlook that she had. So I just like I really like this, and it inspired me to like rewatch Gilmore Girls, which I have been doing a bit. I like really liked it. I really liked it a lot. So it was really cool. I like Lauren Graham a lot, and I guess I just like never realized how much until now. The next book I read was What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, Shad Helmstetter. And this is like a self-help book, and I do try to read like a self-help book every month at least. I kind of like to start off my mornings like reading a bit about it. And I liked this book. So this book had a lot of like scientific stuff about how our brain works and our brain is wired. And I liked it because it wasn't just like a frilly self-help book where they're like, you can do it. Like, but they don't like really give you any reason why or like any sort of action steps. Like there's one book I read, I like don't remember the name of it, but like it was during a really dark time in my life when I read it, and I was like, this will help me so much. And there was literally like this section about like when you start to spiral, because like my problem is always like I'll be okay, and then one like thing will happen, and I'll be like, I'm not gonna let it get to me, but then it like will get to me, and then I'll just like that thing will just turn into another thing. I'll just like spiral out of control into like the depths of despair. And I swear to God, in this book, it was like, when you start to spiral, just don't do it. And like, it gave me nothing. And I was just like, cool. So it was definitely like a more frilly book. It was like more for show. But this book, I feel like it kind of like told you how your brain works. And it basically talked about how like your brain like gets wired from birth, and it'll just like, you know, when you're little, like you feel like you can achieve anything, and then through stuff in your life and like growing up and like what you hear, you like start to believe a certain thing about yourself, and if it's negative, it like will affect you until you like rewire your brain. So I mean, like in the beginning, I have to admit, like I wasn't like hooked. Like it was just a lot of like technical jargon a little bit, and it was like, okay, like it's not exactly what I was in the mood for, but as I got into it, I was like, okay, like, and it wasn't like it as inspiring as like some of the more frilly books. Like it didn't make me feel technically like super good. Like, but then like I realized it was just something to like learn and like apply in every day. And he actually has like a website that, so like it kind of tells you how to do self-talk, and like you could do it in the mirror, like you could like write out something, or there's like kind of subliminal where you like listen to it as you're getting ready in the morning. And on his website, like I mean obviously he like wants to sell a subscription to that, but they give you like a month free, so I actually did get the month because I want to see how it goes. And I've done it like on and off, like I haven't done it every morning, but I'm trying to make it like a consistent thing just to see how it works and like how it helps me. So it's definitely worth trying, and it was definitely really interesting to read about it. And I think like obviously consistency is key with it. So I think as long as I'm really consistent, that will help a lot. And then what's it? I think I earmarked something else I thought was really interesting. Oh, and this is interesting too. A goal that's not written down has a less than 10% chance of coming to life. So I thought that was really cool because I like in my head I'm always just like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. So I'm starting to like actually write down what I want to accomplish. So I think that was a really cool thing. I would probably get this book like I think it's kind of TBD because I want to see how his website and those like subliminal self-help things, like how they work for me. Like I would say like 6 or 7 out of 10, maybe more. I mean, maybe my life is gonna change after I read these, listen to these like recordings a lot. But you know, like it didn't like grab me as much as other books, but it might have had like more pertinent information than them. So I mean, it was good, but it was definitely like I didn't like breeze through it like I sometimes do with these sorts of books. Okay. Alright, so the next book I read was Black Chalk, Christopher J. Yates, and this was the book that was about like these 6 students at Oxford, and they play this game and one of them ends up dying, and then they come back 14 years later to like finish this game. So it was okay. Like my biggest flaw with it was that like it was a really interesting story. It was like these 6 kids. There was this one guy who was kind of like the ringleader of this group. I can't even remember his name now. That's terrible. What was his name? Jolyon. Yeah, I think that's how they pronounced it. Jolyon. Alright, so yeah, there's this main character, Jolyon, who's kind of the ringleader of this little group, and he became friends with another student who was from America and doing like a year abroad, and his name was Chad, and they got together this group of kids, and basically they came up with like this game where they had to like they didn't really like fully explain the game, but the game kind of sounded like it's just like basically like rolling dice and like kind of like a board game, but like with whatever rules they made up. And if you like lost, you would get like these punishments, and like the other like five members would kind of like think up the punishments for each member based on like they'd be like public humiliation sort of things. So like a light punishment would be like wearing like a dress to school if you were a guy for like a day or something, and then like worse punishments would like be stuff that you might not want to do, and then if you don't do them you would like get out of the game, like you would lose a deposit that you put in. It kind of sounds like that show Impractical Jokers actually, but like it takes like a dark turn. So basically they like got sponsored by this like group called GameSock that was at like the activities fair like their first week, and this group is like this shady group throughout the whole thing, and it like ends up like having like deeper like connections or whatever. So this group like sponsors them, I guess, and one member just like watches them play, and it was like my problem was like it was so interesting. It was such an interesting premise. But like I felt like there was so much build up, and then in the end I was just kind of like, okay. Like I won't tell you guys what happens, but just like as an example, um like the narrator, like I won't tell you even who the narrator is, but like because like the way they revealed the narrator was kind of cool. Because like it starts off with just like this narrator, and he's obviously like one of the people in the game, but like you have no idea who he is, and like I kept reading it being like, who is this? Like, did they tell us and I like missed it? And then the way they reveal him was like really cool. But like, you know, the narrator says like how evil one of the characters is, and like how they want to get back at him like for this game. And I was like, okay, like I can't wait to see how evil this character gets. And I felt like, you know, the character like didn't like I thought it was just gonna be like evil, like so bad, like something terrible happened. But it was kinda um like just in like the confines of like this world and what this game is, nothing that happened was like insane to me. Like I was just like, yeah, this makes sense based on like what's going on. And then like GameSock, the like organization that like sponsors this game, like they kept it like kept getting built up. Like we find out all these little tidbits about them, and then all of a sudden like it wasn't really fully explained, and I just like wanted more. Like I feel like there was just so many cool elements, and then like I just like didn't feel very satisfied after I read it, even though like I liked a lot about it. So I kind of would give it like maybe like a like 5 or 6 out of 10 because it was interesting. It was like a really easy read, but like I just wanted things to kind of come to fruition more, and I was just really disappointed in that way. The next book I read was Moxie, Jennifer Mathieu. I loved it. It was like cute. It's definitely like a young adult book, and I have to say like you know it's like kind of just like a very like girl empowering book. So like I wanted to like it. So I feel like it probably could have been even worse, and I would be like, I loved it. But like in the beginning, I'll have to admit, like it was like a little slow for me. It was hard for me to like get into it. But as it went on, like I really enjoyed it. The main girl, Vivian, is just like fed up with like the sexist football players at her school, and she starts writing this like anonymous newsletter called Moxie, inspired by like her mom's like box of stuff from when she was, because her mom was like very like, you know, like a feminist back in her day, and was like really all about women's rights. So she found like a box of all her mom's old stuff and got really inspired by like newsletters. So she like made her own, and they were anonymous, and it kind of started like starting to change things at the school. And I really liked it. My only complaint would be that it ended sort of abruptly. Like, I loved how it ended. I loved, like, this one anonymous student, like, put up this flyer saying that they were, like, raped by this, like, star football player. And I love the reveal of who that is. Like, it was just so, like, there were so many things I loved. And then at the end, like, um, I don't want to give it away too much, but like when everything like hashes out at the end, I just kind of like wish I got a little more from that, like just because it just kind of like ended and that was it, and like I didn't love that. But yeah, like it was really cute, and like there was like a love story in it between the main character and like this new boy in school, and I like it. I mean, like it just like gave a nice little B story, which was cool. And I like how it wasn't like super focused on the love story. Like it was definitely in it, but like you know she had like more important things like going on than just like this guy. So I thought that was nice because I was like, when that got introduced, I was like, well, how is this gonna hash out? Like, it's supposed to be about like empowering women, but like she's pining over this kid and like, but yeah, but I liked it a lot. It was really, really cute. The next book I read was The Great Gatsby. It's kind of a throwback from when I read it in high school. It was good. I don't know. I feel like in high school, like I like really wanted to like it then, and I really wanted to like it now. But I was a little like, you know, like it's good. It's a good book. It was just like I don't know. I just don't think it's like my story. It's like not exactly my cup of tea, and but you know, I like. Oh, it's good. Nice read. Everyone knows the story of The Great Gatsby. I never watched the movie, so I kind of want to watch that. And you know, like I don't want to like give away what happens at the end, but like I like, you know, I usually like cry hysterically, and I felt like I should have had a more emotional response, but like I didn't for some reason. So it was just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about this book. I feel stupid, but yeah, it was just like fine. It's a fine book. Like it's a classic. Um, yeah, I don't know. That was pointless. Um, so the last book I read, like as this month was coming to a close, I like was realizing like it was do or die with this book, and I almost decided just not to read it. But I like read this in like 3 days. Steve Jobs, like 3 or 4 days. But it's like so thick, like almost like I almost didn't read it, but I basically spent like my whole past weekend like reading this book. So many thoughts about it. The book was great. Like it was such like the fact that it's like this thick, I like got through it. Like it was just so like it was very well written. I really liked it. For me, like I would probably give this like an 8 out of 10. Like there's obviously like chapters that are very technology heavy, and like they still kind of focused on like human relationships in that. But some of those chapters, like when it got really technical, I like wasn't as into it just because I'm not like a big tech person. But I love the chapters like about his life. He was such a freaking brat. Like when I was reading this, I was like, wait, what? I just like don't like how he was just always like I don't know, like I mean I guess he like got shit done, but like the way he went about it, like really bothered me, and it kinda like made me mad he had so much success, but like I don't know, like there was just like an instance where like when he was younger, his parents weren't very wealthy, but they saved for him to go to college. And then he like insisted on going to this very expensive college, and they were like, "Well, we can't really afford that." And he's like, "It's that or nothing." And so they like made a way for him to go to that school, Reed College. But then he went and like didn't even go to the class he was supposed to go to. And I mean, I guess like it all worked out because he's like brilliant and started Apple and stuff. But like, jeez, like what a brat! Like that just makes me mad. Like it like irritated me. And then just like how he is with like the people he worked with, and like he's just very like ugh. And like I don't know, like I mean he's obviously brilliant and had a vision, and maybe like it's hard to like do that and just be like super duper nice, but like you know like a lot of this book, like I was just like what the hell is happening? Like, why is he being such a tool right now? And just like, ugh. So like, it was good. Like, it was really cool to learn about him. It was a really compelling story. I mean, he did have a lot that he went through in his life, but like, I like really like shed a light on a lot of stuff. And then like my brother read this book because he's like a huge Apple fan, and he was like, "Oh, you didn't get to the part where he showed like how much he felt bad for that." But like, I mean, I feel like there's a couple lines here and there where he was like, "Yeah, I was crazy," but like nothing where he was like, "I sucked." Like it was just not enough for me. But then weirdly at the end, like spoiler alert, he's dead. But like weirdly at the end when they talked about how he died and like, you know, like all of that like aftermath, like I like started sobbing. I don't know why. Like I feel like I hate him, but like based on his book, but for some reason like it still got me. So I don't know what's wrong with me. But this book was great, like 8 out of 10. And I suck at doing ratings, but I mean I guess Gatsby's like a 7 out of 10 for me. Like it's good, it's a good story. It just doesn't like, I mean, it's obviously like well written, like duh. But like it just isn't like my story, I think. Like I feel like it's just, yeah, whatever. And then Moxie I would do like a 7 out of 10 as well. Like I do think like, you know, it started off slow and I didn't like love the ending, but the whole middle was like awesome. It was just really, it's a great story, a great read. And those are my September reads. I'm like so proud of myself for like reading all my books like that I set out to read. And that's pretty much it. And then later this week I'm gonna do my October TBR. It's like a spooky themed TBR. I'm really excited because I love like horror books and I love Halloween and the whole thing. So keep an eye out for that.